Now, I do understand that you need to cover your ears when you're next to a gun that's about to go off, but honestly, sir, do you really have to do it with a flipping firearm? I mean, the guy's fingers are also dangerously close to the trigger, and since they're at a shooting range, I presume that there's a good chance that there are bullets inside. Look on the bright side, though, I suppose. I mean, at least he didn't point the gun right into his eye socket. Wherever this extinguisher is based, the manager of the building seriously needs to look at their safety regulations as soon as possible, because I've got to be honest, this doesn't look safe. But hey, I suppose it's better than having the extinguisher so close and yet so far. And if you work at either of those places, then be thankful you don't have this as something you have to put out a raging fire with. Forklifts are great machines to lift heavy items with and such, and just wheel around having an amazing time going, I'm a forklift driver. They're great, but maybe not so much that it warrants lifting another forklift, as the first one's reach wasn't far enough. Now, I mean, they are useful, but that just doesn't look safe. And it's also probably not safe to, just put a pallet on top of it so you can reach your target. This guy was probably thinking, well, there's no one standing near me, so I guess I'm good to go. And I mean, yeah, if you're in construction, I'd also be wary about using a paper mask as a face mask to protect you. It's not really a mask, guys. This isn't really a surprise. I mean, didn't you know? Safety regulations are a little bit different when you're in Russia. When you're working in an area that clearly stinks this flammable gas, probably isn't the brightest idea to light up a cigarette and start puffing away. I mean, just ask this genius who, with his pants down to his ankles, as the cool kids like to do, is holding what appears to be a lighted cigarette as close to the petrol tank of your car as you can possibly get. I really wish these images were doctored, but sadly the world is littered with Albert Einstein descendants with an IQ far exceeding any record holder. Speaking of low IQ, how about this lovely family that thinks it's a good idea to take along their 3 children for a motorbike ride without helmets for their offspring? Or, you could always use a basket if you're on a scooter and, if you're willing to sacrifice your legroom. As for this chap, surely there's got to be an easier way to get to the airport, right? Yeah? And here are some other lunatics riding bikes. Honestly, guys, just... In what has to be the most ironic picture in history, a worker from the Texas Department of Public Safety thinks it's a good idea to not talk on the phone, but also look at a second phone at the same time whilst driving. I mean, I think this is pushing your luck a bit too far. Well, at least she had all 4 wheels intact, unlike this driver who clearly needs to get somewhere no matter the circumstances. Don't judge him, guys. I mean, maybe they're on their way to the garage right now to fix it. Yeah, that's probably it. It's fine. I'm sure I can sleep now. Moving away from cars, how about having so many people on a boat that it looks ready to tip over at any moment? The funny thing is, the people on board seemingly have no idea or simply couldn't care less. Maybe they're just having a crazy drunk time on a boat. We've all been there. Look, I understand that you want to show off your gains or whatever it is that the gym do, leg gains, upper back days, whatever gibberish it is. But is it really worth risking your life over, or worse, being mocked by tens of millions of people on the internet? Can't you just work out without balancing for dear life on an exercise ball? Really? Now you're just asking for an extreme safety fail and perhaps a few broken ribs for measure if you're going to misuse a ladder. It's a piece of wood that you climb up. That doesn't sound safe to begin with, but anyway, it's one thing trying to balance on the very top of one of them, but balancing on the top of a ladder without any safety precautions, or putting one on top of another while someone holds the first one, is that really worth risking so much over? Oh right, yeah, of course it is. As we've already worked out, the world is full of people with common sense coming out of their ears and IQs exceeding 300 as I've clearly demonstrated. Let's take a look at some other geniuses while we're here.
Thanks everyone for watching, hope you enjoyed the video. For more top 10 lists, be sure to subscribe by clicking on the button that you can see now.